sure some of you all may have some Q&As, questions that you'd like to pose to Mr. Vedumurthy, Mr. Ganesen, about anything which you want to ask. Might as well be clear there. I don't think Hindraf is here to propel any particular political party in power. Hindraf is here for the care of the marginalized Indians. So, your questions, please, let's be fair and feel free to ask whatever you want. Okay, I'll open this question to the floor.
I think I don't take it as a question. It is more of a comment. My name is Hindraf. If I'm not wrong, Hindraf said we will get some of the parties to endorse your demand. And it will give me an opinion that whichever party that signed that, endorsed the document, you will give the support. So my question or my doubt is, do you want to give to UMNO? Can you trust them? The Chinese had an experience where during Mahathir signed, where the Su Chiu presented, Mahathir endorsed and said yes. But after that, you know what happened. Thank you.
First of all, that's a good question. We sort of anticipated this question may come up. See, it's going to be an extremely remote possibility that the Pakistan government will come to us and say, we accept your blueprint in total. See, there's a difference in the way we would deal with Pakistan and with Pakatan on this matter. Pakistan has wronged us for 55 years, and they have 55 years of experience in manipulation, and they are the government in power now. So, and what we are asking for, items 1, 2, 3, and 4, okay, we can say to an extent they can accommodate and they can, these are economic programs. Items 5 and 6, we're talking about the elimination of the impunity of the Royal Malaysian Police. And we are saying in item 6 of our blueprint, we are saying bring human rights practice in our country to international standards, which means sign up to the covenants on elimination of racial discrimination and on civil and political rights. Now, this is something which, if they do, that has treaty force, which means they are obliged to implement, to raise the laws in our country to the levels required by these covenants, which means Article 153 will have to be, maybe it can remain in the Constitution, but the practices will have to change, some of the laws will have to change, some of the policies will have to change, and that is going against the basic DNA of UMNO. So it's a very remote possibility that they will come to us, but we give them the benefit of the doubt, as what Dr. Karaman said. We are giving it to the governments, both the government in power and the government in waiting, and whoever fulfills our requirements will go along. That's one. Two is, we have no desire to get into bed with UMNO. We want to kick them out. However, equally, we want Pakatan to embrace us. We are saying exactly, I didn't get your name, my friend who spoke just before me. The story of what happened in 1999. The Su Chiu, that's a Chinese organization, they call it Election Appeals Committee, if I'm not mistaken, organization of organizations. So it's a umbrella group. And they, at that time, Mahathir had just sent Anwar Ibrahim to jail, I think it was 1998. That was the period of the Sorabi 1 trial, I think, that period. And he went for elections, 1999. And a large part of the Malay electorate was against Mahathir at that time. So he made a deal with this very influential Chinese organization called Su Chiu, spelled S-U-Q-I-U, a little bit different spelling, Su Chiu. And they put forward a 17-point agreement to Mahathir. And Mahathir said, okay, we'll go along. And what did he do? He won the elections, hands down, 2/3 majority and all. you know, in spite of the fact that a large part of the Malay electorate voted against him because he had the support of the Chinese. And then finally, when Tzu Chiu said, okay, now it's time for delivery, he turned around and said, oh no, hey guys, come on, you got to be kidding. You know, I mean, we weren't really serious. I mean, he didn't use those words, but that's what he meant. He said, yeah, at that time we had to win the elections, so we said yes to your 17 points, but it's not practical, we cannot do it. And if you insist, he actually had UMNO youth hold a demonstration in front of the KL Selangor Chinese Assembly Hall and said, we'll burn this building down if you insist. Right? And that's what Mahathir did. And that's what we don't want Pakatan to do to us. That's why we want them to sign up as a treaty. You see, what happened at that time was, it was an agreement, a gentleman's agreement between Tzu Chiu and Mahathir. I do not know that there was any formal document or any approach more binding than that understanding between gentlemen, right? This time, in fact, in our agreement document that we have submitted to Pakatan, in the preamble, we refer to Tzu Chiu's experience and says exactly because of Tzu Chiu's experience, we don't want it to be a verbal agreement, nor do we want it to be an agreement in general principles. That's why we laid it out very specifically. We've laid it out exactly what we want. And then we said, okay, now you sign up. Now we're waiting for them to respond. We don't want them to send us into the arms of UMNO. I say that one more time. We don't want Pakatan to send us into the arms of UMNO. We want to kick UMNO out. We want to work with Pakatan to kick UMNO out. But Pakatan has to sign. And we're very clear about it. And we are now in negotiations with Pakatan in order that they will do just that.
We need change in the government. We have to trust Pakatan will do better. Just trust. And therefore, the Indian community must throw the support behind Pakatan. I'm not a Pakatan supporter, I'm just saying we need change. So in order for this change to come, we cannot let the government in power woodwink the Indian voters, who are very crucial, especially in Selangor, Perak, and some other areas. I know Hindraf is going to the ground and trying to convince the Indians what's wrong with the way the government is giving aid to poor Indians and marginalized Indians.
In 2008, Hindraf gave clear directions to the Indian community. Our directions were clear. We were at war then in 2008. We were at war with UMNO and Barisan Nasional. MIC had always taken pride in saying that, oh, the Indian votes are fixed deposits of Barisan. It was Hindraf which broke, destroyed that fixed deposit and delivered the votes to the opposition. There was no Pakatan then. It was us who delivered the votes to opposition, and hence we saw an extra 4 states falling into the hands of the opposition. Today, we are not at war. They have released our people. We are not at great war, but at silent war. 54 our people are still charged in court. They are still banned us, but we are not really war per se. However, we are trying to push forward the agenda of change. But you seem to suggest that we just need to change for the sake of changing. Now, the opposition also talks the language of change. I don't wish to criticize. I hope I'm sure there are journalists and bloggers here. Please do not quote me, but I have to say certain things. What change do we need? If we talk about change in the Western world, Obama and David Cameron would tell the people, would specify what are the changes they would bring about. So we want real change. We want the change in the constitutional provisions. We want change where all citizens are given equality. We want change where education are given equally to all citizens without discrimination. So, can Pakatan openly say that they will treat all citizens equally? Will they ever say that they will dismantle the Biro Tata Nagara, which has been responsible for implementing racist policies in this country for 20-odd years? Will they say that their change really means cleaning up the judiciary, cleaning up the police force, and making Malaysia truly a real place for everyone to enjoy the fruits of the country? We don't hear this language. All we hear is just a bad change. So we are going beyond that, bad change, and we want real change.
I'm actually a practicing lawyer. I practice in industrial court, mostly, in the high courts and so on and so forth. But let me relate to you what happened with a particular chairman of the industrial court. It was a Malay. After your 2007 rally, I walked into his chambers because I had a matter in his court. And the moment he saw me, he put up his hand this way. And he said, Makkal Sakti, you Indian first can make a point. I said, we've always made a point. But now I come to my question. I've identified your cause in my cause, which is inequality. I want equality. So my question is this: how can we help? First one, your cause. Number two, or rather my first question should be, do you need help with your cause? Second one is, how can we help? The third one, can you change your next theme, if you have a public talk like this, to how you can help Hindraf? Or how you can help Hindraf? Thank you.
How can you be of help to us? Rather, how can we be of help to ourselves? We are nothing but your voice. We are all one. How can we be of help to ourselves? See, in Hindraf, we are strapped for all kinds of resources. Intellectual resource, manpower resource, financial resource, legal resource. Like we're taking up this case. We're doing the international lobbying. We're waging the campaigns. We're going around the country. But it's always the same few of us. Do we need help? Absolutely. Come join us. And as you said, fear is what keeps a lot of all of you away from us. And the government clearly knows that, because fear is an instrument of control. And you need to understand that most of this fear is only imagined. Is imagined. And the government knows that and plays their cards very well. They play their cards very well. Every now and then they come after us. And we are people like you. Only thing is we have crossed that threshold and we said, do what you want. You're not going to stop us. But to most people, that will not be true. Because we all have a respectable life to lead. And we don't want to get messed up in our lives. So they know that. So they play up this element of fear. In your own ways, right? However you can help, come up to us. Look out for who the local leaders are, or the local activists are. Go meet them, talk to them, see how you can help. In your own ways, where you are, without threatening, what you have around you. And there's much that we need from you. Like I said, we need intellectual resource, we need legal resource, we need manpower resource, we need financial resource. We need help. Thank you for that question.